Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius. Today, we're gonna talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a video about a space face, a book about some magical misfits, and we have a totally awesome guest. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Joe Lampp.
Hi, Tiberius. Thanks for having me on.
Hello.
Oh, sorry.
And Joe's a professional axe thrower. You heard me. He gets paid to throw an axe.
Not yet, but maybe one day.
Maybe. Well, today we're going to start off with the video of the week, and this is going to be a build. Crankin' 90s, crankin' 90s, crankin' 90s.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
Well, today's video game is Space Base Tycoon. This game is made by the Gang Stockholm. Because it is on Roblox, you are able to play it on PC, Mac, Xbox, and even your cell phone. And it is free!
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Sweet. So first off, I get into the game, and you are presented with a button, and you go on top of it, and a building called a headquarters appears. Then more of those buttons pop up, and you have to earn money to push them. Each one builds like more buildings, or upgrades like troopers or flying guys, or upgrades to your weapons. When you build a barracks, then they will start to run towards the middle of the map. Only your men are in the middle, then you are the king of the hill and are able to get double the money. So hold that point and upgrade your men and weapons. I give Space Base Tycoon 12 out of 10 stars because you can enjoy destroying your friends with droid guns and running around the maps with guns and other robots, and using special items like cars that you can use to get kills. The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now to get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. And now it's time for the book of the week, The Magic Misfits number 4. This book is written by Neil Patrick Harris. Let me read the back of the book. Ridley watched, awestruck, as dozens of people began to pour into the auditorium. Who are they? She asked. Members of our magical society, Mr. Vernon answered, pride beaming from his eyes. He looked a bit more energized, welcoming everyone, shaking hands, introducing his husband and the rest of the misfits to whoever was standing the closest. There was a large knock on the door. The memorized army have arrived. Dun, dun, dun! Well, this is an AR book. It is for 6 full points. It's rated for 4th grade and 8th month. This is a great book for kids that love magic and getting into trouble, like me. So Ridley Larson is a brave girl in a wheelchair, and well, as a young engineer. She was over the situation that the bad guy, Callaghan, did not want to fess up for blowing up Mr. Vernon's magic shop. Then he was caught hitting a child. This caused him to go to jail. So then Dean, one of the employees of the hotel in Mineral Wells, shows the magic misfits that he is Callaghan's brother, Sin Kane, and he wants to be with Callaghan because they have not been together in years. But then, well, I can't tell you everything, but it was a good book. Maybe you might want to read it.
I might.
I mean, there is some word in here, so. I give the Magic Misfits number 4 10 out of 10 stars because it was really cool that they found out that Dean was Callaghan's brother. MidState Fire has been providing top quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call MidState Fire today at 407-246-8855.
Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855.
And now it's time for an interview of an interesting person. Today's guest is going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Joe Lampp. Joe is a professional axe thrower.
Hi, Tiberius. Yeah, I throw axes in the World Axe Throwing League and the International Axe Throwing Federation. It's really easy if you do it right, and it's kind of fun. You're going to come here to try soon.
Oh, yeah.
At our shop
Sweet.
in Apopka, 50 East 5th Street.
Nice.
It's called the Axle.
So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
It's interesting. I've never actually done a live radio and YouTube thing at the same time, but I think we're doing all right.
Nice. Okay, so your job is an axe thrower. So what got you interested in the idea to throw axes?
My son and I were driving through downtown Orlando, and he's like, "Dad, they throw axes at that place." I was like, "Who the heck would want to do that?" And we went and did it, and it was the funnest thing I've ever done, and I just happened to
Doing it more.
be kind of good at it.
Oh, yeah. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
Well, what was the reason that you decided that this was the job for you?
Because I enjoy doing it, and when I was there, I would show other people like tips and tricks, and
Nice.
they listened and they could throw it. So I was like, I'll just open my own shop where we kind of focus on making people throw better.
Nice. Well, does it take a lot of formal training to be able to run in the axe throwing business?
In axe throwing business, not so much, but as far as axe throwing, the only training is being a good listener.
Yeah. I mean, I am a good listener, so. How does axe throwing work? Are there scores or something?
There is scores. A perfect game is 64 points. You throw the axe 10 times, so you try to get 8 bullseyes, and there's 2 little dots at the top. They're called kill shots, and those are worth 8 points. So if you do it right, you get 64. It happens on occasion.
Wait, 8 times 10 is 80. So you can just... Oh, because you can only hit those twice.
Yes. So it's 16 plus.
Yeah. 16 plus 8. So what was the best part about being an axe thrower?
Teaching people to throw. The feeling that I taught somebody how to do this and they do it, and the smile and the joy they get from hitting a bullseye. It feels good to make them feel good to do that.
You gotta aim and then boom.
And just let it happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, what have you learned about yourself while doing this job?
That you have to focus on what you're doing. Otherwise, you get distracted and it doesn't work.
Well, is it sharp?
It is sharp. It's sharp enough. I wouldn't drop it on your foot.
Would you like to show it?
I'll show it to you. This is the one I throw. It is called an Ace of Spades First Gen.
Do you want to describe it?
It's 1 3/4 pounds. It's got a round head on it. The head itself is 4 inches. The handle is about 15 inches long. And it's made out of African laurel as the handle. It's a hardwood. It's not super heavy.
It's not super heavy. I mean,
But it's
right here.
It's very well balanced. It just goes where you point it at.
Yeah, I can see how this can be a good throwing axe. Nice. Well, are you ever worried about getting hurt when you're throwing axes?
Not so much. And if I do,
mean, you are
it's
good
something
at it,
I
so.
did, not something that happens. But if you respect that that's the tool and that's what it's for, you don't try to hurt yourself.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's the hardest part about running an axe throwing business?
Customers.
True.
Customers. Getting people to listen.
Because if they don't listen, then
Then they're not going to have
Why
fun.
is this not happening?
And what it is, they normally get in their own way. If they just relax
yeah.
and just do it. If they just throw the axe instead of trying to throw the axe.
Yeah. Well, what's the craziest thing that has happened while you were doing your job?
A Sasquatch came in the shop. Halloween last year. I wasn't expecting it. It was completely out of the blue.
Costume.
It just walked in, 7 foot tall. Like the Jack Link's beef jerky. The big one.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Well, if you could think of one thing that would make your job easier, what would it be?
A clone.
True.
You know what I mean? Just to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And
That way
I could do the
play
other
video games
stuff.
all day.
Yeah. No, the important things.
Oh, yeah. Well, now your bio says that you also create custom axe handles. Does the handle make a difference in how the axe is thrown?
It's more on the person, what they like, what they axe throwing is very individualized. If you throw a straight handle, you like a straight handle. If you throw a curved handle, you like a curved handle, and you get set in your ways. So people like what they like. So I like to give them what they like.
Nice. So your boss says that you have a tournament coming up. Can you tell me more about that?
This weekend, I'll be competing in the World Axe Throwing League, the Atlantic Regionals, which is everybody from North Carolina, Alabama, south to Florida, in a tournament where we figure out who's the best and who's going to Texas for nationals.
Nice.
So there'll be, I think, 80 people, and we're doing 3 different types: big axe, which is a larger 3-pound axe, the regular hatchet, and then duels where 2 people throw at the same target.
And see who gets closer to the bullseye?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool. Well, what other passions do you have?
I enjoy fishing, and I love my children. When
Oh, yeah.
we
Oh, yeah. Well, what was the first job that you ever had?
worked at Burger King, and I spent my entire check on playing paint.
Nice. Like, let's break. Okay, play some paintball. Well, was it anything on during that job that helped you be a better axe thrower? Like help with customers?
Helping customers, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, who helped motivate or inspire you the most following your dreams?
Tom Knapp. He is the guy who taught me how to throw axes. He was also second in the world in 2017, 18, and he is just one of the best people I ever met.
Oh, wow. Well, what is your rank?
Right now, I finished 199. Well, I think there's out of 9,000 throwers.
Nice.
But
It might be
I
9,001.
I am just okay. Let's say that.
Okay.
I'm in the top okay people,
Yeah. Top one.
as it says.
Top 110.
World's okayest.
Nice. Well, what advice would you give my listeners if they wanted to grow up and run an axe throwing business?
Save some money.
Smart.
Because it takes a while to get a business going.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You can't. It's hard to.
I mean, you could like rent out part of the place, and then just have 2 lanes.
And be creative. Be willing to adapt to what you
yeah.
have to do and work long hours.
Yeah. Well, if you had to do a different job from the ones that you're already doing, what would it be?
Retired.
Wow. Well, if you could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
Save some money.
Well, what was the biggest mistake you ever made, and how did it change as a person?
That's a big question.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest mistake I ever made was not putting myself first. When I basically neglecting what I thought and felt for the sake of somebody else.
Okay. So when you are not working, what do you do for fun?
Throw axes and fish.
I thought that was your job.
It is my job, but I still enjoy doing it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the fun part.
That is the fun.
You can't hate it.
Well, do you play video games? And if you do, what's your favorite one?
The only game I really play is poker on my phone. I quit gaming. I think it was GoldenEye on Nintendo because you had to control where your head was looking and where your gun was looking.
Yeah, that's
I'm more of a Mario Kart kind of guy.
Smart. Well, okay, so what is your favorite book to read?
The last book I read, I think it was called 30 Seconds After. I can't remember the author, but it was pretty interesting on an EMP, electromagnetic pulse went off in the United States, and what happened after.
Wow. Okay.
Might be a little deep for your listeners yet, but
Okay. Did you ever cut off a finger?
no.
Oh, yeah.
I do know one person that did cut his leg pretty bad. But that's the only injury I know of.
Oh, wow. No heads cut off?
No, we try not to do that. And if it did happen, we're not going to tell you about it.
I mean, that's the whole point of the question.
Right. No, and
Well, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you?
you can do anything you want if you try it. Failure does happen, but
That's what happened. with you and your son when you found out axe throwing?
Yeah, I wouldn't have went if
You
I
wouldn't
didn't.
have won if your son didn't remind you.
And say hi to people.
Oh yeah.
Interact, because you never
Always
know who
say
you're gonna
hi.
meet.
That's even some advice from me. Always say hi to strangers.
Because you might be the only person that day that does.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, well, do you have a Facebook for my listeners, someone to follow you?
I do. It's just Joe Lampp, JoeLampp. The company, if you want to follow that one, it's The Axle, TheAxehole, in Apopka.
Nice. Well, what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
What do I want to be when I grow up?
Well, what do you want to be?
Retired. No, I don't know. Haven't decided yet.
Huh, okay. Well, what is it about axe throwing that makes you have the passion for it?
I enjoy when a customer walks in, tries it, and they can't do it. They're just, I can't do this. I'm done with it. And it's like, give me a couple seconds, give me a couple throws.
Mm-hmm.
Just their attitude change, going from I can't do this to I just did that.
Like, wow.
That's my passion. That's what I enjoy, is watching people throw better.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's very simple. If they do the simple little training things you have to do, it just works.
See, first, I thought you held it by the blade to actually, like, stand right up. So,
You just throw it like a regular.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you have a day job, or is this your day job?
This used to be my day job. Now I had to go get a day job. And I'm a scenic artist. I'm actually doing gold leafing at I can't say the actual name of the residence, but it's the largest home being built in the country right now.
Wow.
And we're gold leafing their dining room, the medallions above the ceiling. But it's pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what is the best part about doing that?
Creating something. I'm an artist when I'm not painting or when I'm not fishing and throwing axes.
Well, do you go ahead and make custom axes?
I do. If somebody wants one, I will do my best to come up with what they're looking for. It's
Sweet.
fun. Once again, fun creating something
Oh,
from
yeah,
nothing.
that is true. Can you do, like, different, like, writings on it?
We can get it engraved
Nice. What about, like, the custom, like, covers? Like this one, it's like Joey on it and an octopus.
that
on
one
it.
a friend of mine had made for me, but we
Oh,
can.
okay.
There's people that do that. There's different. I have
yeah.
networking opportunities for anything anybody wants.
Yeah, you can just send some of that, like, type of leather to my dad. I think he can print on it, so.
We might have to talk about that.
Sweet. Well, what's the hardest part about Golden Maker?
It's tedious. It's very because looking up on ceiling and only doing little strips at a time. It's yeah.
Well, do your kids still throw axes?
Not as much as I'd like them to, but they are all grown up now and married, and well, one of
Why
them's
not
married,
them?
and it's just a time thing. But they all know how. They're all pretty good at it, but they don't do it as much as I do.
Why not get their kids to do it?
Well, they don't have kids
Like
yet.
one that
I'm not a
has-
granddad. I'm not that old.
Well, do you have to be angry to throw axes?
It doesn't hurt. It makes it it makes it stick a little bit better if
Uh-huh.
you focus on your anger and try to get it through your arm to the
But
board.
it does lack.
It affects your accuracy though.
Yeah.
So even
But
if
you
I'm
focus
angry,
on accuracy, then that lacks on
yeah,
weight and
Yep.
hit.
yep. And sometimes you throw it too hard, and you literally have to back off a little bit.
And then just goes like too many rotations per minute, and then
Yep, yep.
it just
They end up
bounces
just
off,
throwing
because
it
just like
completely hard and wrong and everything. But it's fun when you're angry when you come in.
Oh,
You
yeah.
settle down and you're smiling after 2-3 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't smile until they
Oh,
leave
yeah.
smiling.
Well, how do you use math in axe throwing?
There's a lot, and there's a lot of physics also.
Mm.
It's because 12 feet away, a 1 3/4 pound axe with a 12 to 18 inch handle will rotate one time to the board. So as long as you let it go in the right spot, it's going to go to the board in the right spot.
Oh, yeah.
And it's 12 feet away, so every time you throw it, it's 24 feet. So if you throw it 200 times, you walk a mile.
Jeez.
This weekend, I should average about 7 miles. If I do well in the tournament.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Joe, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Let's do this.
Sweet.
Over 40 years, Playhouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Playhouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at playhousecfl.org.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Well, thank you, Joe, for helping me with Math Corners. Today, we're going to talk about exponents. Exponents is a great way to talk about very large numbers with smaller numbers. Well, most people know the exponents of 10 and to the power of a number. But you can have an exponent of any number. Even infinity with the exponent of infinity.
Pretty big number.
That's infinity and beyond. So to start off, you have a number called the base. So this is the number that the exponent is based on. So let's try then number 5. So now you have the exponent, and this is the number that's written smaller in the upper right hand of the base number. They refer to this as the power. So 5 to the third power is the same as 5 times 5 times 5, or 5 cubed. Now 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 5 is 125. So 5 with the exponent of 3, or 5 cubed, is 125. Now, there are a few trick questions when using exponents. Sometimes the question will have the exponent be 1. Well, that means the base is only times by 1, which means the answer is the base number. So, but this is important. If the exponent is 0, then the base doesn't matter. It is always 1. Now, there is a very long reason why, and maybe in a month or two, when I better understand it, I would like to share it with you. And I know my dad liked it. So Joe, do you not know all about how to use exponents?
I pretty much know as much as you do right there. It's whatever it is times itself. So just remember that it's not times 3, it's not times 5, it's times whatever the base number is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Joe, for your help with Math Corners.
You're welcome.
See David Smith Law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help people.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
That website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's? And now it's time for the heart of a lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about integrity. For me, I think integrity is doing what is right even when no one else is looking. The qualities of integrity is honesty, sincerity, truthfulness, and fairness. Okay, so I was having some issues this week with this virtue. I had been busy doing lots of fun things and forgot to do some of my school assignments. This is not good. Because of my actions, I missed on 3 assignments, and that is not good for my grade. I have asked my teacher if I can make up the assignments, but I have learned I really need to pay attention and ensure I get all my assignments done before I play. My dad has removed my Facebook and YouTube access until my teacher says that I have made a marked improvement. I was very upset with myself for this situation, but I'm working hard so that next week I will have made up my missing assignments and moving forward in a positive direction, getting my work done when no one else is looking. So Joe, did you see or use integrity at all this week?
Yes, you have to use integrity because you are your only you.
Sure.
If you don't respect yourself, and if you're not truthful, and if you're not honest, nobody else is going to respect you.
Sure.
You have to use integrity all the time.
Well, so of all of the heart of a lion virtues, which is your favorite?
You know, honestly, all of them, but integrity. Because I'm the best me I have.
True. Well, we should always try and be aligned strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
We should.
And that's our show, folks. Someone sings on the only, the amazing Joe Lampp for being on my show.
Thanks for having me, Tiberius. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. And it has been so much fun talking with you today. And I hope in the future to be able to throw some access with you.
You will, I promise.
Sweet. Also, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show. And please consider to visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and subscribe. Also, be sure to listen to us next week on The Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
The Tiberius Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Executive producer Joseph Boy. Production editor Pierre Laguerre. Green Room manager Danny Boy. And your program host, Tiberius Boy. The Tiberius Show is copyright 2018.